Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for my first JazzInc vehicle preview video. Usually we look at figures in these, but today we're looking at something different. I'm a huge fan of JazzInc's 1/6 scale stuff. I picked up their 1/12 scale BVS Batmobile, but now they're doing something very special. For those of you out there who want the Batwing, but just don't have space for something as gigantic as it is in 1/6 scale, you can now grab a smaller version of it. This 1/12 scale Batwing is actually being crowdfunded. They call it Back the Build. This is their first time doing it. I've popped a link to JazzInc's website in the description if you would like to back this, but just sit through the video first and see what this thing is all about. I've reviewed the 1/6 scale Batwing. It was a masterpiece. But this is not just a shrunk down, scaled down version of the 1/6 one. They've made changes, they've made improvements, maybe even a couple of tweaks here and there to get this thing to be as accurate as possible. And depending on the version you get, a display base plus a mini Batman to sit in the cockpit. But let's quickly talk about what this whole back the build thing is. So first off, you only get charged if this thing is successful. Right now, it's getting there. There's still quite a while to go. The campaign ends November 25th, 2025. And because they're not relying on third parties, they're doing it all in-house on their own website, they get to offer you payment plans. So if this thing is funded, and I'm hoping that it is, you don't have to drop the entire amount day and date. You can do a payment plan that will be available to you. But the quality of this thing, that is what I want to focus on most throughout the course of this video. There's 4 different SKUs available, let's call it. Set 1 is the Batwing with beautiful paint apps, weathered, light up effects, but you don't get the stand. They're still moving parts and pieces, but no stand. Set 2, same thing as 1, but with the stand. Set 3, same as 1, no stand, but instead you get Batman, and set 4 is everything. All in, everything included. So we'll look at these pictures. Based off each of the sets, there'll be a transition between each version, so you'll know when we're moving on to set 2, 3, and 4. Set 1, look at the wind burn effect on the wings. That right there, that looks like a filming quality miniature. That is what I have come to expect from JazzInc. And even though this is 1/12 scale, Hot Toys, they made a 1/12 scale The Bat from The Dark Knight Rises because they knew that most collectors wouldn't be able to display it, the 1/6 scale version, in their houses because of the size of the darn thing. They were initially going to do 1/6, they went 1/12. So there's precedent with even Hot Toys doing this. I might have the 1/12th one in the background, kind of like a forced perspective thing behind my 89 Batman figures, even though they're different scales. It could still work, I'll just have to try it. The cutter up front that Batman uses to cut the balloons in the movie, that's there, looks rusty and dirty and grimy, and there's silver chipping just dotted around the place. Set 2 and 4, because you also get the stand with set 4, it's a bat symbol. Of course it is. You get metal rods, thick, sturdy looking steel rods that insert into the Batwing, and they hold it at an angle so you can see pretty much all of it. Like the back, obviously not, but the top, the front of the wings, Batman in the cockpit, and the detail in there. It's much more dynamic having it on a stand. Could you just pop it on your shelf or fashion your own kind of stand with set 1 if you'd like to save a little bit of money? Yeah, of course. But having the official Batwing stand, I don't think you can beat it. The logo, how sturdy it's going to be, it was engineered to go on this stand. That's why I'm leaning towards set 4, much to nobody's surprise, I'm sure. The ultimate version, we'll talk about prices towards the end of the video, but the delta between set 4 and set 1, not astronomical. Set 3, no stand, but instead, we get the miniature Batman. It's pre-posed, it sits in the cockpit, but Even there, you can see the Keaton pout, the symbol on the chest, the fabric cape. He sits in there perfectly because that's what he was designed for. He's holding onto the controls. You can bring the targeting system scope in front of his eye if you want. So, say you want to get the Batwing, but you're worried you don't have any 1/12 scale 89 Batman figures to pop in this. You don't need to worry about it because if you get set 3 or set 4, you're getting a Batman. It's like an all-in thing. It's not a figure sold separately kind of situation. When I was a kid, I would buy vehicles for like Batman the Animated Series, and I was always so disappointed that I didn't get a figure in the box. This solves that problem. Yes, much higher price point. Yes, I'm much older now, but still, you think about these things when you're buying stuff like this. Vehicles kind of sort of should come with figures, doesn't often happen, but this time you are going to get one if you get set 3 or 4. There he is. And it's a full Batman. It's not just the upper torso, you get the legs as well. And please, JazzInc, think about doing a back the build version of the 89 Batmobile in 1/12 scale. Imagine the lights and the spinning rotor, the fan up front in 1/12 scale. That would be crazy. I don't even know if that's achievable, but I'd love to see them try. Anyway, back to the Batwing. This is so impressive. The 1/6 scale one had a lot of presence, and I reckon the 1/12 scale version is still going to have a lot of presence because it is quite sizable, even at this smaller scale. Let's discuss the price points. So set 1, just the Batwing, $319. Set 2, Batwing, dynamic stand, $345. Batwing with Batman but no stand, $369. And then all in set 4 with everything, $395. A fraction of the cost of the 161. It's smaller, but it is just as well detailed. Museum quality. Filming miniature quality. That is what I'm talking about with this piece. You've still got moving components and the light up, and it's plug in too. You don't have to rely on batteries. They include an adapter with multiple different heads so you can use it anywhere in the world. JazzInc have thought of that. Now, as you already know, I need to have this. I am so freaking in. I will be getting set for hell or high water, unless this thing isn't backed, but I'm hoping it is. I've popped a link to JazzInc's website in the description. If you're interested in a super high quality, not hollow, cheap plastic Batwing, something that is the real deal, shrunk down to 1/6 scale, make sure you back this before it's too late. While you're down in the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.